Another significant escalation in the global trade war. China has increased tariffs on US goods to 84% in response to Washington's 104% duties on products from China. As those duties took effect, along with tariffs on dozens of other countries, Beijing accused the United States of unilateralism, protectionism and economic bullying. And China says it has the determination and means to fight on. It also has added 6 more US businesses to its unreliable entity list. This is the latest response in the tit-for-tat on tariffs between the world's 2 biggest economies. Let's go back to February. Trump imposed 10% duties on all Chinese imports. A month later, it doubled those tariffs. China responded with additional tariffs of up to 15% on key US agricultural imports. April the 2nd was called Liberation Day by Donald Trump. He shocked the world's markets, targeting almost all countries with so-called reciprocal tariffs. China was hit with an additional 34% duty. 2 days later, China responded with an extra 34% tariff on all US goods. And now, April the 9th, another increase on Chinese imports, up to 104%. Beijing's response just hours later, tariffs on US goods raised to 84%. Well, our correspondent Iolo has been keeping an eye on this very fast-moving story. Iolo, what are the main lines coming out currently?
Well, there are plenty of developments each day. Those which you've just reiterated now in terms of the percentage, eye-watering. But the response from China has come in this China-US economic and trade relations. And in its conclusion, it says, trade wars produce no winners and protectionism leads up a blind alley. So I'd say that Beijing is still hopeful that there can be negotiations, and Donald Trump himself has said that now he's hearing from dozens of different country and leaders, state leaders, who are trying to negotiate with the United States. And don't forget the World Trade Organization dispute between China and the US in terms of which began last February, that is still ongoing. What's changed again this morning, apart from that increase of tariffs, is this list of 12 companies which are being restricted in terms of importing and exporting in China, 12 American companies, and also a banned list of 6 companies, most of them to do with defence and military in some aspects, and they've been banned from, forbidden from doing any kind of business with China as it stands now. What else is happening? Well, the European Union has also approved retaliatory duties against US imports totaling around $24 billion. That'll start next week. And also the impact on stocks and bonds. They've slumped again. There is concerns now, heightened concerns, I'd say, about a global recession in many, many countries, including, of course, the European Union as a bloc. The value of government bonds is not what it used to be, and it was considered well, for decades as the safest of all, and it seems that investors are beginning to lose confidence in the US as the cornerstone of a global economy. Why are we saying that? Because it seems to be losing that image of a safe haven for investors. The yield has gone up, which means that people are selling. And so that's a big change. It's also having an impact on UK bonds and China's stance, as we've just been discussing, in terms of the escalating US tariffs. So the position now in this 51-page document is actually clear. What China is accusing the American administration of, and it's saying that this confrontation will bring nothing but damage, and of course the uncertainty is going to impact all of us. Everybody who buys and uses stuff which is built or exported across boundaries, that's going to increase the cost for just about everybody across the globe if this continues.